my channel, Millennial Mormon, and if you are new here, then welcome, and subscribe down below, and go ahead and turn on the little bell so that way you can get my notifications of when I post new videos, and I'm always coming out with new content that you guys are suggesting. And today is actually a suggested video, which I'm super excited to film because this gave me a lot of stress before my mission. I served in Peru, and I remember the struggle of trying to decide if I should buy new scriptures, if I should take English scriptures with me, and just how I should mark them to be effective, and just all these questions. Luckily, I already went through it. I did the struggle for you, and I'm going to tell you guys today what is the best way to mark your scriptures, what kind of scriptures you should buy, and just the ins and outs of all that. So go ahead and keep on watching. My makeup is like so beyond extra today, but that is because I have some exciting new projects happening, so stay tuned. Alright, so it is a big question that I hear all the time, is if you should buy new scriptures when you go on a mission. Now, personally, I think that if you are going to be speaking English, you know, that's your native language, and that's the only language you're going to be speaking on your mission, I would still suggest buying completely new scriptures for your mission, or at least just have scriptures that are unmarked, because throughout your mission, you are going to learn so many new things, you're going to make so many new notes. The scriptures are literally just going to make sense to you. I don't know how, it's the blessing of the plaque, but it happens. So you'll want to mark them with, you know, that heightened revelation that you receive throughout your mission. So just start out with a blank slate, bring new scriptures with you. Now, if you are going to be speaking a language, even if you're still in the States and you're going to be speaking a language, definitely take your own personal set of scriptures that are English speaking. I honestly took the ones that I've had my entire life since primary, and they were already marked and whatever. But what I was doing is I was actually marking my Spanish ones, and those are the ones like that I use on a daily basis to teach people and do different things like that. Now, if you are going to be teaching people with English scriptures, and you're only taking your personal ones along with you, make sure that the highlights that you've made are readable, so that way then when you hand people your scriptures to read, they're not like, why is this highlighted bright pink and I can't read it? So if your marking stuff wasn't so great in your own personal scriptures, I would definitely suggest bringing a new pair as well, so maybe you'll end up taking two new pairs of scriptures with you on your mission. If you're going to another country and you know you're going to be speaking that language the whole time, which is how I was in Peru. I only spoke Spanish. I only ever took my Spanish scriptures out in public with me. I still brought my English set, my personal set, so that way I could read them and understand them for the first 6 months while I was still learning Spanish, and I could kind of do side by side, but all of my markings were in my Spanish set. So those are my suggestions for you guys. I would definitely say to buy your scriptures in America, even if they're in Spanish or Taiwanese or whatever language you're going to be speaking. Definitely buy those in America because they are a lot cheaper here. And second of all, you can like find the greatest sizes, because I didn't know that they made Spanish scriptures in the little tiny quad. And instead, I was packing around these two monsters with me for a year and a half. I swear, I think I'll forever have back problems. So make sure you buy them here in America. You can get the best price, you can find the best size that you want, the colors, all that fun stuff. Now, of course, if you want to get some snazzy cases, go ahead and wait till you're in your mission field, because those are when the best ones come out. So let's go ahead and move on to marking your scriptures. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I marked mine. Now, this is my Spanish set. Marking my scriptures was a big trial and error throughout my mission. I finally figured out what worked best for me, and everyone's a little bit different. If you look online and blog posts, there's a lot of different ways to mark your scriptures that other missionaries have discovered. This is what I did, which I feel like is kind of a combination of everything. There are things that you can buy to literally like mark your scriptures for you. Now, Preach My Gospel is divided up into 5 sections under the lessons. There's the restoration, there's the plan of salvation, the gospel of Jesus Christ, and then the commandments, or well, laws and ordinances and commandments and that stuff. So each one of those sections is under a color. Like the restoration is blue, the plan of salvation is yellow? No, it's not yellow. It's orange. And the gospel of Jesus Christ is green. The commandments are purple, and the laws and ordinances are yellow. So I took that little color scheme found in Preach My Gospel, and which is the same in all languages, obviously, and I went ahead and incorporated that into my scriptures. So here is my beat up set of scriptures. They got rained on, a dog bit into them, lots of things happened to these. Anyways, what I did is in the back of my scriptures, I made a little chart. Ooh, don't rip. So old. I made a chart that looked like this. Now, obviously it has like some different decorations and stuff that I put in there. But what I did is I marked the different sections of each of the lessons. This is in Spanish, sorry guys. But each of the lessons has a subheading to it. Like in the Restoration, there's prophets, or there is, Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon. Now, each of these was in their certain color, and they had a number as well. Then I took these pretty little tabs, and they're sticky on one side, and those have numbers on them. So that correlates with the section that you're teaching. And then, to get really extra, they have little designs on all the edges. I hope you can see that. So what I could do is I could easily just be like, okay, we're talking about the atonement right now in the plan of salvation, and I need a scripture about the atonement to help teach this investigator. So I would find that's number 5, so I'd go to the number 5 tab, and I'd see the little design, and then all the ones that were involving the atonement were in their line. So each of these are like in their individual lines, and that would like clarify, okay, this is, that subheading of that lesson. Kind of complicated, I know, but it made sense in my mind. So that's what I did. And then what I did to kind of help me, because obviously a lot of these verses, there's multiple colors on one page, like this one, I have an orange one and a pink one. I would mark the scripture according to that color. So pink, I didn't have a pink colored pencil on my mission, so I used purple the whole time, but in my mind, once again, it made sense. So don't judge. Green was always Gospel of Jesus Christ. Some of the scriptures to me weren't super outstanding that I put a tab on them, but I would still mark them that color because oh, this is talking about the Gospel of Jesus Christ. It's a little too deep for an investigator to understand, but still I know it's there and that's what it's talking about. I also put we had these neat little contact cards and contacting cards of my mission, so I just threw those in to give things some variety and lots of cutouts of the Liahona for stories, because people in other countries love pictures, and if you could just show them a picture of the story you're telling them or the concept you're teaching, they understood it. So that's what I did to mark my scriptures according to Preach My Gospel. Now, there was lots of other things I did. Another way is I put Post-its here in the front of my scriptures, and I would write different topics that were pretty common topics that people would ask us here, so that way I knew instantaneously this topic, and then here's the verses that go with it. Some of them are why do we have temptation? Is my family actually important to God? I don't want to obey the commandments. I had verses for all of these things just right on hand, so that's another great way to do that. A lot of really good quotes I wrote in my scriptures, so that way they were easy just to read to people, or they could read them if they wanted to. I went ahead and did the same thing in my Bible as well. This one was a little bit different just because the Bible is so big, you have so much to work with. What I did is I took some great articles that I had found in the Ensign and then on the church website, and I went ahead and kind of summarized them and put them in my scriptures. One of them is an amazing thing to work with on your mission, is a talk called The 17 Doctrines of the True Church. Now, this was a talk given way back when. I'll have a link down below. It will show you, the 17 things that the true church of Jesus Christ needs to have. This was written by a guy who was a convert to the church, and he was looking for these things before he was a member. They have scriptures that correlate with them. They're amazing. So you can find different talks like that just kind of highlight various scriptures and good topics that investigators have questions to. And then you can just fly through your scriptures with ease and just wow them all and baptize everyone. No, but yeah, you will if you mark your scriptures effectively. Because there's nothing worse when you're sitting in a lesson and there's this great scripture and you're literally just flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. Don't be that missionary. You don't need to have scriptures memorized, but you definitely need to know where they're at. And if you make a really creative marking system for yourself that you understand that is effective, you are going to be able to understand these scriptures inside and out, or just at least a lot better than you knew them when you weren't a missionary. I can testify to that. I would definitely suggest getting some covers for your guys' scriptures. I found these ones in Peru, so they were a little bit, had some Peruvian flair to them. But anyways, don't take a scripture tote with you, those ones that have handles that just hold your scriptures, because you will have a missionary bag or a purse. You're not just going to end up walking around with just your scriptures. You're going to have, a water bottle with you, you're going to have pamphlets, contacting cards, so many other things that you're not just going to be able to have a little scripture tote. So definitely keep that in mind. Like I said, buy the smallest version of scriptures possible, but at the same time, remember that you will be teaching old people and that lettering gets really small. So maybe even buy the medium-sized quad, but just remember you're going to be hauling these around day after day after day. for 18 months to 2 years, and I can tell you, your back will start to hurt. So definitely take some colored pencils with you in a variety of colors. Make sure you get the kind that doesn't bleed through your scripture papers because they're a lot more thin than normal paper. I would definitely suggest buying these colored tabs. Even if you're not doing a system like this, they're great to have just to, pinpoint certain scriptures, and then they're great to give to other people as well to show them where they need to read, because I swear some people, they just can't remember anything, and especially when it comes to scripture reading. Those are some tips and tricks I have for you guys as you are getting ready to go on your missions, and if you have any more for other people, leave them in the comments down below. Keep your video ideas and requests coming in the comments as well. Share these videos to missionaries that you know are getting ready to go out in the field so they can be prepared and be effective scripture readers, teachers, that stuff. Alright, and a lot of you guys have been asking about my social media. So my Instagram is at Jessie. Yeah, I had to put 2 U's in, but that was like 10 years ago. So anyways, Jessie is down below, and then also in the description box. And then I do have a Facebook page, Millennial Mormon. Go check it out. Go like it. I'm posting all my new videos, just kind of some behind the scenes stuff. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, that is today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Happy scripture marking from Millennial Mormon. Bye!